Hello YouTube, it's Jay, and today we're going to do 10 ball break number 2. Now in the first 10 ball break, I showed the cut break, which is actually applicable to a bunch of different games. Basically any game where you don't need a huge amount of power to spread the balls out and you have the one ball on top of the rack. I've mentioned before that I don't like pocketing the one. I would rather pocket other positions and leave the one. And so this is the break that I actually use in 10 ball. The idea is, for me, is to break it, have the one ball go down to that end of the table, leave the cue ball somewhere around the middle, and have either, in this case, the 2 or the 3 go into the side pockets. Now there are breaks also that send the corner balls around the table for rails. Not a big fan of those. Too much can go wrong, too many balls can get in the way. So for me, the shot that I use is this one where I'm trying to pocket one of the balls from the second row, and I'm trying to hold the cue in the center of the table for a shot on the 1. You can see I made the 2, and I've got a shot on the 1. So this break, I break it just off center. So my 9 ball break that I showed is edge of the cue ball on the spot. This one is 1/2 ball in, okay? And the reason for that is that I do want an angle on this to help spread everything out. If I put it in the center, everything goes the same way and they all come back together and it gets to be a mess. But by putting it just a little bit off center, I get a little bit of that, I get a little bit more separation in the balls. And I'm going to hit this with just above center English. I'm going to be aiming for the crack in between the 7 and the 8. So dead straight down the center of the rack. And in doing this, what it's going to do is I'm going to hit just off center on the 1. The cue ball should come out and park. The 2 and the 3 should both head towards their respective pockets, and we're trying to make one of those 2 balls. So let's go ahead and let's see what that actually looks like. There's my 2 ball inside again. Straight in shot on the 1. You can see I held the cue in the center of the table. It's a runnable rack. Not sure what happened there, but I got all kinds of motion and this kind of sticks me. You're gonna have to shoot the 3 in the side and then have the cue ball come over here and do something for the 4. I don't like the way that one broke. You notice one ball goes in, you're kind of screwed, so you don't want the 1 to go in. So this break is more about power, or not about power, it's about accuracy. What you're going to see when we do our 10 breaks is you're going to see that if I hit it square and the cue ball comes up and parks, the 2 balls head for the sides. What you're going to see if I hit it off to the side, and when I do miss it, I tend to miss it to the left. When I hit when the cue ball goes off to the left side of the rack, it doesn't come back out. So I want it to be in this little line. When it comes out and it's over here or down here, what you're going to see is that a ball will come out of the rack, come up and kick my 2 ball. My 2 ball is my target. If I'm breaking from that side, the 2 ball is the most likely to go in. So you'll see the 2 ball coming towards the side, and you'll see, I think it's the 6 ball, will come down and come up and hit the 2 if I hit off center. It's more important to be accurate than it is to be powerful. So there, I hit off to the right side, and you saw the 3 was headed for the pocket, and the 9 came up and kissed it out. Now, the fortunate thing is that if I'm off to the right, it's okay because my 2 ball still goes in. My 2 is the one that's likely to go in here. That's the one I'm banking on, is making the 2. If I get the 3, it's a bonus. So hitting off to the right, I don't like doing that because look at the lead. I've got nothing. I'm playing safe from here. I mean, I could try to cut the 1 in, but really, I'm probably going to play safe on this. If I hit solid and hit center, those kisses don't happen. If I hit to the right, the 9 ball comes up and kicks the 3. If I hit to the left, the 6 ball comes up and kicks the 2. I would much rather be off to the right than to the left because the 2 ball is the one I'm actually trying to pocket. Now, as far as adjustments, you remember in the cut break, the no English would send the 1 down here, and to move the ball this way, you apply draw. Well, in this one, it's the exact opposite, and I'll show you this. If I put too much top on it, instead of going long, it's going to go really short, and I'll show you that. So if the 2 and the 3 are both hitting short of the side, you've got too much top English. Back off the top English a little bit. Go to a 1/2 a tip or something like that. Now the danger when you hit it off to the right side or to the other side of the rack, in this case I'm breaking from the left, so if I hit on the right side of the rack, is you're trying to hold the cue in the center, so you're trying to park it in the center. And if you hit at the right angle with just a little bit off to the right side, the cue ball will come up and you're spinning forward and it's going to drive it towards the side pocket. Now, it's not real obvious that it's going up and over. It looks like it goes straight in the side, but it's because of the top English. So you want to really be careful to hit this really precise. So let me show you what it looks like when you scratch like that. All right, so let's do our 10 breaks. This one's really simple to execute. There's not a whole lot to explain. 70% speed, aim for the crease in the middle behind, right here, and make one of the second row balls or both of them in the side pocket. Leave yourself a shot on the 1. Park the cue in the center. Okay, so there's the cue ball parked. That's the break we're looking for. There we go, park the cue ball. Side balls go in. 1 ball's on the table with a shot on it. This is a little thin, but All right, so you can see this is a very effective brake. The balls always end up spread out. If you make the ball, you're a pretty good bet to get a run out if you're a decent shot. And when you don't make the ball, curiously enough, when you don't make a ball, it seems like there's always something tied up. So it's pretty good in that even if you do turn the table over to your opponent, they're going to have to either push or play safe. Overall, I like this break. This is my go-to 10-ball break. If I ever get back to where I'm competitive and you see me in a 10-ball tournament, this is the break I will be using. Now, different tables break differently, so you have to deal with that. But even so, I mean, this is a great break to use because it doesn't depend on the speed of the rails, it doesn't depend on how bouncy the rails are, which the cut break does because you have to be able to bring the cue back to the center of the table. This break doesn't depend on anything else except you being accurate. And by the way, I should mention this. You're trying to hit that one ball full and just a little bit off to the side of straight on. If you aim straight on at the one, if that's more comfortable for you, that's fine. For me, I find it easier to aim at the back of the rack than I do at the front of the rack. Because then I'm thinking in the line that the cue ball's going and not in the, I need to hit the one ball precisely in this point. So I find it easier to aim at the back of the rack. You may find it easier just to aim straight at the one. If you do, you're trying to hit the one full and just slightly to the inside of straight on. You know, you need, from here, it's so close to hitting the top of the one ball that for all practical purposes, you're aiming at the top of the one. But that you have to hit just a little bit inside the top of the one to be effective. Anyhow, great break. This is the one I use. I use it consistently because it works so well. And it's very, very consistent for your breaks, and it gives you that nice spread for the run. So that's 10-ball break number 2. If you like what you saw, hit like, hit subscribe, ding the notification bell. We'll see you next time.